back to another monthly vlog. We are in November now, and I've had such a nice morning. It's Saturday morning and we have nothing planned that we have to do or no place we have to go. And I've been sitting on the porch. We're having like a really unusually warm weekend. So it's been in probably the high 60s Fahrenheit. I'll put Celsius here, but it's been so nice. I've just been sitting on the porch drinking tea and reading, and I haven't done this in so long. Just like allowed myself to relax and not worry about anyone else and not worry about cleaning or picking up. So it's been such a treat, but just wanted to say hi and film a little intro to the vlog. So I'm about to finish the last 2 pages in Herbal Rituals, a book that I have been reading since December 2021, and it's broken up into different chapters. So each month talks about a different story, a different herb, different medicinal uses for it, different rituals you can do to honor the earth. And I have just loved every second of this book. So I'm in the last 2 pages. I can't believe I'm finally done with it, and I stuck with it all year. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So right here is a little stream of runoff water from this field I'm in. And it's so cool, you can hear the water running underneath the ice. It's so pretty. Good morning, everyone, and I just wanted to show you guys how beautiful the sunlight looks this morning. I'm taking a really quick walk right before work, and there's frost on the ground and it's sunny and the air just feels so crisp and fresh, and it's just beautiful. I really love winter. It's not even winter yet technically, but it always feels like winter once December hits. Got our first snowfall today of the season, and everything's looking pretty cozy. We got our Christmas lights up. Little buttons over here. Yay, it finally feels like the Christmas season with the snow. It's hard to see, it's pretty dark out, but we got quite a bit.
It's Christmas.
Okay, so I just wanted to pop on and catch you up on a few things that I've been reading lately. I was able to finally finish this book, Herbal Rituals by Judith Berger, that I've been working on the whole year. I started it back in last December and I just finished it last month in November. So this is a book that's written by an herbalist, and she talks about all these different herbs and plants that she has experience with in terms of medicinal uses and her own personal rituals. And it's broken up so each chapter is represents a different month. So it'll focus on one or two herbs within each month, and it has recipes and it has, you know, the strength of the plant and what they're used for, what the folklore around it is. And I really, really enjoyed it. First of all, the writing was beautiful. I don't think she's written very many books, but she really has a talent in terms of writing and stringing words together and stringing thoughts together. And it just made me feel so cozy inside. And I didn't do really any of the recipes or any of the rituals that she mentioned, but I have been trying to make tea out of each herb as each month goes by. So for example, sorry, I keep hearing, I think there's like an oil truck outside. But anyway, the month of December talks about the pine needles. And so that is sort of the focus for this month. So I already went outside and I gathered some pine needles and I made myself some pine needle tea. I know that's really high in vitamin C. So that's something that I'm going to try to keep doing throughout the month of December, just to incorporate more natural herbs and plants into my diet and into my routine, because they're so good for you. And I feel like we as a culture have lost a lot of that. So if you're ever able to find this book, if you like this sort of thing, I mean, it does have quite a bit of, I hate to use this word, but woo-woo in it. So she does talk about the plants talking to her and listening. And, so if that's something that you don't really like, you might not like this. You might think it's kind of cheesy, but I didn't mind it. I really enjoyed it. And it was one of my favorite books of the year. So that'll be on my wrap up. So another book I finished so far was a short novella called Virgins by Diana Gabaldon, and this is part of her Outlander series. And this is actually a novel that sort of takes place it takes place before Outlander. So I've never read it before. I happened to find it on my library app as audio, so I listened to it. The audio was really good. And the story focuses on Jamie Fraser as well as his brother-in-law, Ian Murray. And it happens before the events of Outlander. So it happens when they're a little bit younger, and it talks about what happened to Jamie after he was captured by the English officers and severely beaten, and how he cannot return to Scotland yet. So he joins up with his brother, and well, at the time it's not his brother-in-law yet, it's his friend. And they go on a few of these adventures with these this band of like French soldiers. I'll be honest, I listened to it on audio. I didn't pay attention to some of it because I was doing other things. I would like to get this as an ebook and read it again. But it was pretty good. It wasn't anything too crazy or exciting. It did have the Outlander flavor to it, which I love, but it was kind of not really memorable. But it was enjoyable, if that makes sense. So that was one thing that I finished up this month. And then I have two books that I'm currently reading. The first one is part of my alumni college book club, and this was a nonfiction pick this month, and it is called Driving While Black. And this is really, really good so far. I'm doing a mix of audio and ebook, and it's really interesting. It talks about how the invention of the automobile really opened up so many paths of freedom towards Black Americans. Before the automobile became accessible to people, everybody had to travel by public transportation, whether that be bus or train. And it was really difficult for people of color living here in the United States because of the intense segregation and the Jim Crow laws and the racism. And it talks about how when people were finally able to own their own cars, how they were able to get away from that constant feeling of fear and prejudice and racism when they had to use public transportation. But it also went a bit deeper and talked about how even when Black Americans would drive on the road, they would have to be so careful to avoid towns that were really, white and racist against Black people, because if they broke down, it could be very dangerous for them. They also had to really plan out their routes and make sure that they knew where they could stop, where they could get gas, where they could stay in a hotel. And I just never really thought about it that way, and how, something that we take for granted now, being able to jump into our car, go wherever we want, book a hotel wherever we want, get groceries, get gas without feeling like we could get hurt or we could get, harassed. That's something that we really have privilege for, and I've always had privilege for that. And so it was really interesting knowing that perspective of all of that. But so far it's really, really well written. I'm really enjoying it. It's engaging. There is a documentary on PBS based off the book, so I might watch that too, because it was really interesting. So I'm really enjoying that so far. And then the final book I just wanted to mention is I started listening to The Midnight Library. My sister listened to it on audio, and she recommended that I check it out. And it was already on my list, so I thought I might as well go ahead and give that a whirl. And so far, I'm really liking that also. And the premise for this book is that there's this girl, it's based in England, and there's this woman who she's having a really hard time in her life, and things keep going wrong, and she has severe depression that she's been struggling with. And sort of this chain of events happens where everything's going wrong, and she decides that she wants to end her life. So that being said, trigger warnings, because there is on page leading up to her suicide attempt, her suicide. And that can be a little bit hard, I think, for people to read that are really sensitive to that, because it's a little tense. So just knowing that going into it, it's right in the beginning. I'm not spoiling anything. This is like the basis of the book. So she wakes up after this event, and she wakes up to find herself in a library, and her old teacher is the librarian. And come to find out, she can see what it's like to live her life in all these different ways based on different choices she made in her life. So for example, when she was younger, her parents really had her intensely training in swimming, and they wanted her to go on, and she probably could have made it as an Olympian if she continued her training. She decided to stop, and her life went on from there. So it shows what her life would have been like had she continued. So there's numerous choices and lives that she gets to re-experience, seeing what it would have been like if she had made those choices. So I think so far it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it. I think I would have preferred to read this one though. I am listening to the audio, and I'm not totally vibing with the narrator, which unfortunately can make or break a book for me. But I really like the idea of it. It's really interesting, so I'm going to keep on going with that. So yeah, I just wanted to pop on and let you guys know what I've been up to as far as reading. And I'll check back in soon after I've read a few more. Good morning, everyone. I just want to show you this beautiful sunrise this morning. I just happened to look out the window real quickly, and it's so pretty and vibrant and orange and pink and beautiful. And we are supposed to get a ton of snow tonight into tomorrow, like almost up to a foot maybe. So that should make it look even more festive around here. But yeah, I just wanted to show you real quick. And sunsets are so interesting because they change. You can't tell when you're looking at it, but they're changing every second. And if I looked out the window like a couple minutes later, I don't think it would be as vibrant. So I love that. Hey everyone, I just wanted to check in and show you beautiful snow we got. Oh my gosh, there's a cardinal in there. I don't know if you can see the red. If anyone is missing a loved one, the cardinal is a sign of their spirit. So your loved one is saying hi through my video right now. But anyway, yeah, it's snowing out. I have a quick break. The kids have a snow day. My husband stayed home from work. I do not have a snow day because I work from home, but that's okay. I'm just thankful I don't have to drive. I just love snow. I really do. I love winter and snow. Look how pretty the trees look back there. So beautiful. Very Christmassy, very festive. I'm just gonna walk around a little bit on my break. Here's the creek that I always show you guys. Looking so pretty. Here's the other side. Snow just makes everything look so pretty, doesn't it? So this is that field back here that I usually walk out in. And I can't tell if there's cows back here anymore. I'm not sure if he moved them. But hopefully he did, so I can start walking back here again. Oh, it's just so pretty. Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful winter wonderland here. We had a lot of branches fall down because of all the heavy snow we got. But we are about a week away from Christmas, so I think it's safe to say we're gonna have a white Christmas. Some cozy little books that I never got to. Hopefully next year. Well, it looks like the elves were up to no good last night. So I think, guys, I'm going to end the vlog here. It's the eve before Christmas Eve, so it's Christmas Eve, and I don't think I'll get to film anymore until after the holidays, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great holiday. Merry Christmas to all that celebrate, and I will see you in my next video.